9. Yizza! I got you. Every week, let's battle it out. Let's see. Hi, Queen.
Girl, that's coming from a person that's out of shape. I tried to work out today. 15 minutes. And I was like, what? I turned it right off.
No.
I did. It was a 30-minute workout with probably like a 7-minute warm-up.
What was it, on YouTube?
Yeah, some skinny white girl.
Was it Heather Robinson? I love her.
No, it was Megan
Robertson. You gotta look up Heather Robertson. I like her.
I had to take a nap afterwards. I went and I lied down. I'm not well, but I'm gonna get myself back up. That's usually the process. But I'm an older woman. I'm an older woman. I went to the pool with JoJo and I put on my bathing suit and I looked in the mirror and JoJo was like, "Oh, you're like a mom. You're like a mom. You look like a mom." And I was like,
she just realized it.
No, I think I'm just looking like a
girl. You look great. If you look like a mom, shit. I'm telling you, I'm not even having sex. The best years are behind me. I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my life. I don't know what's going on. If you look like a mom for real, don't upset me. Because then I look like a grandma.
According to Jolie. It's like,
tell JoJo to hush.
Mom. It's like, girl, shut up. I'll beat you and put you on punishment. Yeah, just a busy week ahead. We are in August, July done. I saw a meme that said July didn't even put her purse down. She didn't even put her purse down. July
flew
and went. A lot's happened. Just for the first, actually, yeah, this whole month is pretty busy for me. This is a mix of an update as well of a little drop for some hot shit. If you guys are in the Philadelphia area and you have the time and the interest, you should again come check out the Black Star Film Festival. It officially begins on Wednesday, August 3rd. They are going to be showing a bunch of amazing films and having panel discussions. Black Star is a hub where Black folks or folks from the diaspora come together and view films made by Black and brown people, as well as talk about artsy shit. So if you go to blackstarfest.org, you can take a look at the schedule and events that they have. I curated the bazaar, so if you want to come and check out the marketplace, then on August 6th, we'll be out in the sun, grooving, baking, slinging goods, and this will be, again, in West Philadelphia at the Annenberg Center on 30 Walnut Street. So they also have a virtual tickets as well, so if you can't actually come in person, also it's very scary to be out in the world right now. Anyway, highly understood. You can get virtual tickets and view all of the films and panels as well online. So
that's dope. Is that for people outside of the city as well? They can do the virtual experience?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I mean, that's for the people outside of the city or have any reason that they can't come physically or don't want to because it's dangerous to be outside. All the reasons. But yeah, short and sweet. Those are my updates. How are you?
It's Sunday. Full disclosure, this is an emergency episode because Beyonce dropped. So we gonna work this out. It's Sunday night. We gonna get this out for tomorrow, but I am tired. Mm-hmm. I hosted my father this weekend. My 60, what year is it? Child. I don't know, 63, somewhere up there. 63-year-old father. Very particular man, Black man from Philadelphia, West Philadelphia. Capricorn. Hosted him in my 1-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn. What a time to be alive. When the roles reverse and you looking at your parent and you want to be like, who raised you? Like, there were so many moments. I said, sir, I woke up this morning. First of all, the house felt like a fucking icebox. And I said, I didn't know that ain't my AC running all night on turbo with the window open, Shanti. Window wide open. I said, oh my God, my good air going outside. It's freezing in here, so I can't even imagine.
What do you mean? What window was open?
Girl, the living room window right here.
He had the
open.
AC in one.
He had the AC
and
in one end window open. He had the other window.
How did you
He had the AC running. He had the other window wide open, and then the fan going all night. I said my electric bill finna be ridiculous.
With the window
Meanwhile,
open.
I was in.
I'm
with
sorry.
The window open.
I would be so upset.
I was. He then let me know that the towels that I had, I should have washed them first because they were still leaking dye. First of all, I went out and bought you new towels. And the reason why they're, I guess, leaking dye is because they're brand new and they're blue. But here we are. I guess they were a little, I don't know. I said, sir, you never even offered me a towel at your house. Maybe a paper towel. Anyway, he was just on his shit. But he was fine and he was very happy. And he kept talking about, girl, how he is going to be up here so much. And I was like, what? I said, oh. And, we took him to Rutgers Park, me and my sister and I. And there were no basketball games. People were shooting around. But the basketball games apparently happen during the week. At night. So that's why he was like, oh, I'm coming up here. Da, da, da. And I said, no, you are not. Why would you invite yourself to your single daughters? Not that anything's going on, god damn, but sheesh. But he was funny. He is older. It's really hard to see your parent older. And
it is. I heard that.
And moving slow, can't walk as much at all. You just see. And it honestly made me really focus on my own health. I said, oh, wow, I have to really get my shit together because all these aches and pains, I do not want to feel them at the level. There's so many people are feeling them at certain ages. And I think a lot of it has to do with not stretching, not sleeping. A big thing for him is stretching. He weightlifted his whole life, body built, and now his body just tight. Child. So
he never really stretching wasn't a part
ever.
of his.
He never stretches, so his body will just lock up. He'll be walking and be like, oh, and grimace, and you're like, and he's having some sort of cramp. So I don't know. It was nice, and then we even had an end of life discussion,
which is so important. No, shout out to Black families.
So important, and shout out to my sister who was she's really been spearheading a lot of that. Oh my God, he never told me if he got home safely. Where's my phone, actually? Jesus, be a fan.
He drove back home?
No, he didn't drive up here. He took the train and bought the wrong train ticket. So let me text him right now. Apologies.
Tennessee, girl, Tallahassee.
Don't play with me. Don't play. Anyway. So yeah, it was nice, but I really do encourage people to have those conversations. They're very hard conversations.
Was he taken aback or was he receptive?
No, he was receptive because we didn't spring it on him. He knew that this is something that we have been thinking about. And mostly it was geared around, what do you want? I want to make sure that you have what you need, and it was interesting to hear what he wanted, what his wishes were. Yeah, it was very my dad, what his wishes were. But, and that's hard for a kid. But I will say, especially to children who their parents have remarried, it is especially important that all of those wishes are in writing because you have this dynamic of like, okay, here are the kids that he's known their whole lives that he raised. And then there's this partner who he's chosen to marry. They could be very new or they could had been around for a long time, but what you don't want is the kids and the spouse fighting at the end about, no, he didn't want that and I'm calling this shot. Like, no, there needs to be an executor of everything. It needs to be legal and there needs to be a will. Like all of that stuff is really important. So yeah, that was my weekend. It was fun
You
filled.
did
I
it,
tried to
girl.
get him to. I did it. I did. I tried to get him to watch Lovecraft. He made it through like episode 3, like the middle of that, and was like, "All right, this is all these monsters. What's going?" He just didn't have the wherewithal. But I did get him on Succession, and I couldn't tell if he was enjoying Succession until when my sister left. He said, "You want to put one more on and watch it?" And I said, "Okay." He likes it. If he's asking to watch one more, then he liked it. But he expressed that he had a really good time. So
Good. That's lovely.
that was good. Now I'm worried though because he never said that he got home safely, and he has an Android and I can't track him. So, Lord. But yeah. So I just did the daughter duties this weekend. But sadly, rest in peace. We got some rest in peace. Bill Russell, NBA legend, 11-time NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, who, Philly don't really fuck with the Boston Celtics, but, it's Bill Russell. He was the first black head coach in the league, passed away peacefully today, Sunday, in his sleep, and he was 88. And then Nichelle Nichols, do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, best known for a groundbreaking portrayal of, I don't know how to say that lady's name, the black lady from Star Trek.
Yeah.
She died.
That was the first interracial kiss on national television.
I did not know that.
She
really?
was the first one kicking off, getting her white man on.
And she also passed away at the age of 89 peacefully. So that's what I like to hear. But shout out to those trailblazers. Because of them, we are. Shout out to them. But again, we're doing an emergency episode, and we're gonna hot shit. It's obviously Beyonce, the new shit. We're gonna get into that, but first, I would like to get into these celebrities. Obviously, I don't know what lottery it was. The jackpot was over $1 billion. I don't know which company it was with though.
Mega something.
Mega Millions?
I don't know.
But it was $1 billion? Anyway. It was over $1 billion, and mad celebrities were showing all of $1 billion. It was like $1.2 billion, something. Bill with a B. B.
I'm so pissed if it's an old white person. I mean, if it's an old person. I don't care about the race as much as
why?
It's
oh my God.
Because
why would you be mad?
You're old. You can't do nothing with that money. Not some 80-year-old person winning all that money.
Yes, they can. They can distribute. Girl, that's giving ageism. I'm shocked.
I apologize. Forgive me if you are of the community. I apologize. That was ageist.
Fucked up. You're like, you old. You might as well just go and die. That's
sorry.
Terrible. I hope it was an old person who worked hard their whole life, and now they get to go have some fun. Go be a hoe, old person. Go live your life. Get on a yacht.
You know they've been having the most sex. You know that, right?
And the most STDs.
They are fucking and
protect themselves.
Raw dogging it. Because
I know
it doesn't matter.
At those senior centers, they give out condoms to them because they act up like college students. They act up and they grown. You can't tell them, excuse me, after hours, go in your room. Bitch, I'm 89 years old. Get out of my
19
face.
19 grandchildren. Fuck out of here. You work for me.
Right. Anyway, that was an aside.
We'll go over to Charles' bedroom right now.
No, but so these celebrities were buying up the lottery tickets. DJ Khaled posted, and somebody else I don't know, and somebody else I don't know either, because I don't follow Shade Room anymore. So pop culture is about to get tricky.
Interesting.
I couldn't do it. I said, Shade Room, I've had enough. Had enough of your shenanigans. All right. Like, the Shade Room does not condone violence. I'm like, you do, because you post it all day. But anyway, what do you think about that? I mean, I guess. I
don't personally think. I'm not mad at them for doing that. I'm not.
But you were mad at the poor old white people. You wrong, Shanti.
No, I was just saying I'm mad that, and I'm mad if an old person won a ticket. I'm not mad at all old white people. You just made a
You said
blanket
I'm
statement.
going to be no. You said I would be mad if it was a white person. Oh no. Then you said, oh, I'm be mad if it was an old
That
person.
one. But what's that got to do with me being mad at them?
How would you be mad at them and not the rich ass celebrities that don't need it?
I'm not mad, but I'm not surprised. I'm not angry. Like I don't feel like oh, but I'm like it makes.
I'm not angry. I'm more annoyed. I'm
It's
more
just
like y'all just greedy. Y'all just greedy.
greedy, and they want more. They want to pass it on for 19 generations are going to be good. I want my kids. There ain't gonna be no fucking trees. It's not gonna be
right. I was about to say it ain't gonna be 19
but
generations.
They have a lot of money that they can eat.
Right.
Okay. So I get
well,
it.
it's sat with me wrong, and I full disclosure, my blood is with me. I am on my period, and I'm feeling a way about it. I'm feeling just the amount of, last week we talked about the pastor, child,
the plot thickens, girl.
and the plot. Well, you knew he was stealing from the congregation. Now you can't have $1 million on your fucking neck, and you just be preaching for the good Lord, and you just got $1 million on your neck now.
Apparently, he's in debt to all time. He's probably running drug. He's probably involved in the underbelly of it all. He's
allegedly, because we don't want to get sued.
Allegedly,
we don't know. But
they had a press conference, child. He said his shit up there, and then a reporter came up and was like, "In January 29th, there were reports that you were defaulting." And they were like, "All right, we gotta end this. Now that's a legal matter that I won't be talking about." I was like, "You ain't shit."
Listen. All I know is we really need to, as a whole, think about our relationship with money. I have a complicated one, but also with our greed. How greedy are we? What do we really need versus what do we really want? Ooh. And then what are we just filling ourselves with just to fill it, just to fill the empty space?
You need to listen to that podcast I sent you. But yes.
What podcast? You sent me a podcast?
Yeah. Is that the only way that we are going to survive the climate change is if we stop growing? Yeah. We need less people. Not that humanity stops growing, but like there has to be intentional degrowth. Like it has to go the opposite way. But anyway.
Well, I'm helping. I don't think I'm having any kids, so I've done my part.
It doesn't have anything to do with humanity. It has to do with
economy. What are you talking about?
Degrowth of the economy. It has to. It has to stop. But
interesting.
To it.
Well, I will. Do you remember the name of that podcast?
It is. I shouted it out again. It's Upstream Podcast. I sent you a link. I'll put it.
Do you remember the name of the episode?
Yes. The only way to climate change is if we stop growing or some shit. It wasn't as provocative as I would have liked it to be. But.
Well, anyway, I am really feeling sensitive around the haves and the have-nots. And maybe it's because I'm a have-not a little bit. But I'm really not in comparison to other people who really don't have. And I don't know. I just feel like, I've the Oprahs of the world, the LeBron James, even the Beyonce and the Jay-Z's, like all these people, I know the hard work that goes in to all of those people I named didn't really come, except for Beyonce. She had some coins, but they didn't come from wealth. And so I guess it is quite the feat to accumulate all of that. But what does it mean that you've accumulated $1 billion? Even the Rihanna's, she didn't come from almost that. But what does it mean to accumulate $1 billion? Like, it's very hard. But what does that say about not necessarily them, but what does it say about us as a whole? That there are literally people who will die here because they don't have basic needs. They don't have shelter, food, water. And
deeply troubled. That's what it means.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're not well.
Fucked up. We got the game fucked up.
So when I saw that and I saw them like, oh, somebody got to win, they also just didn't have any, I guess, self-awareness around how that might look.
Mm.
to even their supporters or who people, like, I don't want to see them struggle. I'm grateful for them. I think they should be paid but I don't know. This hierarchy is really, I might go to the cave soon, Shanti.
Oh, if Antoinette goes to the cave, y'all.
Because all of my stuff is not rooted in money. I want to be paid, but like my ambition isn't about money. It's about like purpose and feeling fulfilled, I want some money too, but not that much.
But we talked about it before in the podcast. What is enough?
What is enough?
Is enough? And why don't we have a collective agreement about what is enough? Because there's enough to go around, obviously, right? There is enough. There's enough resources. There's enough money to go around. But this way that we exalt and we strive as individuals and hoard, it gets tricky, just like you said. And like that is the status quo. That's what this country is built on. That's what we want.
Yeah, last thought on this is I have a friend who, shout out to Black, he always says, everything's enough until you get it and then you want more. Mm-hmm. And you want the next thing. Everything, he was saying, and that's not just with money or anything. It's always like, oh, I'll be happy when I X, if I feel better, right? If you burn your hand on the stove, God, all I want is for my hand not to hurt anymore. Then your hand doesn't hurt and you take it for granted, basically, because it's back to normal. And it's, damn, all I want is those Michael Jordan's ones. Michael Jordan ones.
You're talking.
It's just this, yeah. Anyway, didn't love it. Next up, another thing I didn't love. God damn it. Baby, that Neo interview I did not age well. I said, boy, I just talked to you 2 weeks ago. What happened, sir? For those that don't know, I interviewed Neo with Mandy for See the Thing Is podcast. But child, I asked him all kinds of questions around, can you give us advice on reconciliation, what it takes, because him and his wife separated, and then they got back, and they had, renewed their vows, was happy as a pig and shit. I'm sitting there talking to him, you were raised with women. He was raised with his aunties, his grandma, his mama, all up in one roof, cousins, women. And so as a result, I'm like, I think that you really do you have an understanding of women, the way that you write your songs, the way that you sing about them, just your approach feels like that you get it. And I appreciate that. You're not pulling panties to the side. I really big Neo up.
Wow, you really set that man up and
really
flat
did.
On his face. That's for good content right there. Last week you had said...
Listen, I said, Neo, sir, you had one job and it was to not do this. So Crystal Smith, his poor wife, and this is all allegedly, we don't know. She took to Instagram. She posted a lengthy little post with allegations of infidelity. And she said, I will no longer lie to the public. Child. She said 8 years. 8 years of lies and deception. 8 years of my love. Of unknowingly, that's the key word, sharing my life and husband with numerous women who sell their bodies.
Selling them.
Unprotected. Every last one of them. To say my heart is broken and disgusting is an understatement. To ask me to stay and accept this is absolutely insane. The mentality of a narcissist. I will no longer lie to the public or pretend that this is something it isn't. I choose me. I choose my happiness and health and my respect. I gained 3 beautiful children out of this, but nothing else but wasted years and heartache. I ask that you all please stop sending me videos or information of him cheating because what he does is no longer my concern. I am not a victim. I am choosing to stand tall with my heart held high. If someone can't love you the way you deserve, then it's up to you to love yourself. With no hate in my heart, I wish him nothing but the best.
That was
and then Leo liked it. I said petty. I said Neo.
He hit her with the okay.
He hit her with the okay. He double tapped that shit. Now, sir. He did respond and say basically his, I don't even know where it was, but his response was around, I'm not going to deal with this in the public. Da, 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 da. So I was like, oh man, I was upset. I hit Mandy up. I said, girl, first of all, I was sad for him because I actually don't mind much of his project. I actually liked his project that just came out. Some of it, there were some skips, but a lot of it was good. I love this one song about Hold Me Gently. The new single is great. But I was sad because I really did enjoy him. And I really felt, good energy from him. I did. I felt like he was being genuine. He's also a Libra. So I was like, oh yeah, baby. If this is true, that's really disheartening. We don't know, but I just pray that Neo and his ex-wife, estranged wife, Crystal, find whatever peace they need, because this is sad. There are 3 kids involved. It is very public. And I do understand, people they actually came for her, like why she had to put this publicly, she needs attention. And part of that is because she was also in the space. People accuse her often of being one of those women that were out here getting paid, getting flued out.
She said not anymore, okay?
Right. They accuse her of that, and who knows if that's true, or if she was just a beautiful woman that men were interested in, and they, they offered her nice things as a result, because when you're of a certain class, sometimes your dates are in fucking Dubai. I don't know. I don't live that life. But all I know is that I can understand posting this publicly to try. Sometimes people do that kind of thing so that they actually have to stand by it. They're like, well, I didn't put it out there. So now I really have to choose me, or I can't go back to him, or whatever the case is. I don't know. But I feel bad. I just, all around,
it's dangerous.
Nobody
it's
wins.
Violent. If that's true, he's sleeping with numerous women unprotected.
Yeah.
At one point, it's like, you don't give a fuck about yourself, clearly, or me. You could kill me.
Right. That's the thing that people don't recognize, is like, when people are upset in that way, and they're upset with her, I'm like, her life was at risk. You have to realize, when you're out here in these streets running around, if he was, and this is not about Neo or his wife, this is more generally speaking, if you're out and about and you decide to cheat, and then you don't even have the courtesy to protect yourself, therefore protect your loved one, wow. It's such a violation. It does feel violent. It feels like you're being violated because you're opening yourself up in such a vulnerable way to a partner.
You have an agreement of fidelity.
Right.
You have this agreement.
Or honesty.
It's just basic. It's just basic.
Because you don't have to be faithful. You can tell me that you need to switch up.
I also, fuck all that. She should have kept it private. Fuck this idea that women have to keep swallowing shit. Everybody was we just love to see Beyonce busting the windows out of that car when she had her. That's a whole fucking mood. Women are enraged. And why didn't she have a right to be enraged? Maybe it's not the whole arc of her processing this thing. Maybe that's not
one of the steps, though.
Who are you to police and we don't gotta make that public? He ain't had to do that. Now she's responding the way that she wants to respond, in anger and trying to humiliate him the way that she feels humiliated. I feel is not a wild response. That is a whole fucking mood. And for women to be like this, I'm gonna take the high road, I'm gonna chalk that, fuck that. Sometimes you gotta bust a window out of niggas' car. Sometimes you gotta be mad, big mad.
Sometimes you're mad.
Not to say that there's not consequences to that. It can often be reckless and out of control, but Don't sit here and tell this woman how she responds to her life being flipped upside down, and then she got to see dumbass videos where he's lying, and
that's death. Like that's death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yes,
and swords. Because when you see it, and then you keep getting more and more and more evidence, it's like when you realize somebody's cheating. Child, as somebody who's done this,
that bitch rage,
and then you go back looking, and then you see the text messages. And then you putting together all the lies,
Girl,
and you realizing I saw you that same night.
Bad.
And then you have so many realizations where your whole entire relationship feels like a violation. And then you're just so hurt. Every single thing that you learn is just another stab.
Let that woman be mad.
Stab. It's awful.
And that was a pretty mature outing of him as well. It's pretty mature.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, I'm sure that there was more she could have said. But I also feel a way too. Like, why would you lie in my face? I don't know you ain't bad to be lied to. You ain't lie. You could have been like, no questions about my relationship. All right, cool. Why would you lie and then offer advice? He was all determined. He was like, I don't go nowhere. You couldn't tell me. That's why I'm inside.
Go ahead, lying ass nigga. Shut up.
Wait.
Shut up.
This is all still allegedly, so
I'm upset. Well,
I'm praying for Leo and I'm praying for Crystal. I'm praying for them kids mostly. That's sad. That's sad. I don't know. Like I don't think the penis is that good for me to be cutting up the way these men cut up over vagina. They cut up,
but it's
vagina.
Not for sex. It's because they're unwell. It's how they.
Yes, I know. You're right.
Their psychosis. Their self-esteem issues.
I saw a quote.
They're not well.
Quotes. Big egos are big shields for lots of empty space, and I feel like this is just a way to fill up that empty space.
Go to therapy, nigga. Stop playing with your life and other people's life. It's not worth it. Like, grow up. Do something else.
And then writing love songs.
Go talk to Jay-Z.
Listen, I swear to God, if Jay-Z better be acting the fuck right. Because if he talking the way he be talking in these damn interviews is cutting up, that's it. I'm going to the cave. Jay would send me to the cave. You know how I feel about Jay. I'm going to the cave. Your person was Wendy, where you had it. My person apparently is Jay. We're like, if Jay is not well, it's still cutting up, baby, it's over. Let me just
goddamn old for all that anyway. Shit.
He too what?
Oh, sit down somewhere and raise your babies. Stop.
They ain't never too old. What? Anyway, you just put something on this outline. Go ahead, child. I did not want to talk about this.
Will Smith made the error of releasing his apology on the day that Beyonce dropped her album. That nigga got silenced like a motherfucker. His engagement was poor as shit.
No, it was. The people were like, "We love you."
No, I say that in jest, but I saw his video. He looks like he's been crying for 3 months straight. He looks very tender and cracked open, and I love Will Smith. I do.
Same.
I love him, and I know he is still reeling, and he's doing a lot of work, but
he's humiliated.
I love him. I really love him. Like, I want to see him.
I think it's fucked up that I love him so much more than Chris Rock. I'm so much more worried about Will than Chris.
He means so much more to us. He's done so much more for us. He does.
Really?
Yes.
Chris has done a lot.
Oh my God. We grew up on Will Smith. We've watched his trajectory. We've watched his family now. His kids. When he went online, you got a peek into like his nature as a person. Like that is. I love Will
We're
Smith.
invested.
I do.
We're invested.
And I really want, exactly. We're invested.
And I appreciated what he said. I did. I think he didn't offer. He's masterful, and I think it's because it's earnest. Where he didn't offer a whole lot of excuses. It was he still is taking accountability. You can tell that he's ready and willing to fall on that sword. He's falling on the sword. He keeps picking himself up, putting himself back on the sword. Anytime Chris Rock reaches out, I feel like he will be happy to do it again and again and again. The only thing that I want for him is I want him to be able to forgive himself so that he doesn't continue to punish himself. Because I'm still of the thinking that he ain't doing that wrong. But, you know, I get it. I get it. In the scheme of things, you know, the politics around it and just who he wants to be as a person, that wasn't, I think, how he wanted to respond. It might not have been how he wanted to respond, but I do think it's one of the, I'm not mad at the response. The same way we're not mad at Neil's wife for punching back a little bit. But Will Smith, he's a masterclass in humanity. Mm-hmm. He's a human being who's hurting and who makes mistakes, and I think it's a good way to see that. And doing it publicly, again, seeing this arc of like, oh, what's up? And hurt people, and just because you might have been the person to hurt someone doesn't mean that, you know, you don't deserve some sort of grace. His father was abusive. But that's my point. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah. A lot of the people whose hands I suffered at, I'm sure they had a lot of shit going on. Mm-hmm. You know, we're all very human and very fucked up. And who the hell knows what's going on with Chris Rock? You know, he says and does the things he does. We're all just fucking up. Well, back and to I appreciate curls with the positivity and affirmation for humanity first. All right, well, let's move on. I'm fucked up, homie. You fucked up, and we're not gonna be all right. We're not. We are maybe not. Not with climate change. I got a lot of texts about that climate change. Fran texts me like, "Oh my God, I'm actually in Salt Lake City." I love her. First of all, that made me so sad to hear. And can we correct that, please? Listen, I heard it. I need to speak up more because I wasn't sure. Antoinette going to say, Fran has a new oil out called Renaissance. And I was like, why would I say that? I had Beyonce on a brain show. That's so close to Beyonce. That can't be right, but maybe it is. But like, I don't know. Resonance, you illiterate son of a bitch. Fran, we are sorry. Also, so shout out to Fran for listening to the podcast. That is just... I know. I was like, what? But it still is the embodiment box. Hey, Fran, hey, collaboration from resonanceapothecary.com. We said the other beautiful woman's name incorrectly, and I won't repeat it because I actually don't know what the correct pronunciation is. It's not Humsa, though. That was appropriative. And stereotypical, and I apologize. You know, Humsa is the protective hand. Oh, yes. So sorry. Yes. When Fran wrote me about that too, I laughed so hard. It's Hasnaa. So Hasna, right? Say that again. Hasna. I love that so fucking much. Anyway, big shout out to the God. Hey, Fran. Hey. Francesca, we sorry, girl, and we will do better. Again, but I bet you people gonna buy that oil. Also, they might be typing in Renaissance. I saw they'll find it. Oh yeah, a lot of people did comment and were, you know, just sharing their dismay about how, you know, here we are drinking out of straws and recycling bottles that will never be recycled that are being shipped to Indonesia. We trying our best. The recycling gate. Don't get me upset about the plastic propaganda because that just blew my trust away for everything. But again, I found the podcast name. It's How Degrowth Will Save the World with Jason Hickel, and they talk about climate change in it. And again, the root that he says of climate change is not about, you know, gas emissions and all that shit. It's actually broken down to like theories of economics and how the Western world is running the economics. And if that doesn't change, well, it doesn't matter if you've got $1 billion. I have another aside because I was actually looking for the podcast that I sent you before we get into Beyonce. You ignored my text about Jonathan Majors. Girl, because I didn't want to talk about it. Because it made me angry. I felt like Crystal Smith for a minute. I don't know why. It really made me mad. Like, you so tell the people. Corny, yo. You Son of a bitch. Tell the people. Is that what you just said? Tell the people what I sent you. Y'all, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. No, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know how my crazy ass found this. This was after I forced my dad to watch whatchamacallit, Lovecraft. And so my Jonathan Majors tingle was tingling. I said, ooh, Lord. So I went on the interwebs, y'all. And somehow on Twitter, buried in a comment, it wasn't even the main comment, but buried in a comment was a woman who screenshotted a text message that she sent to her homegirl. And it's a picture of Jonathan Majors at the Four Seasons in Maui. And she writes, Jonathan Majors at Four Seasons in Maui. Very cool, with a beautiful blonde British girl. And I said, oh, shit. And it's a snow bunny sunbathing next to him. And he just there looking fine as hell, reading a book, minding his interracial couple business. Good for them. But that lady is very skinny. It's a skinny white. We knew it. We knew it. We knew it.
And it makes, I don't want to go see his shows anymore. I don't feel like I want to support him in the same way. And that's my problem.
Crazy.
I understand.
Our moms are white.
I know. I understand the complexity. But that is just like, bro. Grow up.
What you mean grow
up? I don't know.
Please?
Grow up. Stop getting all dazed over some pink nipples and grow the fuck up, okay?
I'm more mad she's skinny. All that big old man. Grow. That's what I mean. Grow up.
Grow up.
Get a girl. Get a woman. Right. Get somebody with some meat on them.
Get somebody
so you can be nourished. They can feed you. Them bones, skinny, but she can't even keep you warm. Let the real climate change happen. You're going to need somebody with...
She won't last. She's going to get sunburned anyway. She ain't going to handle. She's just going to burn out in the sun.
Stop, because so will I.
And she's going to pass it down to your kids. That recessive gene...
Well, I told you.
It's a dangerous thing.
For those of you that don't know, I am a CIA agent, and I already found Jonathan Major's daughter. And that was a
biracial child.
That was a biracial child. I found her. I found his sister's Instagram page, which shows how insane I am. And then went to her tag photos, and boom, it was a picture of him holding a little girl's hand, taking her to school, saying, so proud of my brother and his baby girl.
He couldn't find a black girl that appreciates the little mugs and shit that he drinks out of, little cottage shit. Like, he couldn't find a black girl that was like, yo.
Oh, that mug that he drinks the matcha out of every morning?
You couldn't find a black girl that appreciates matcha as well?
Apparently
Grow
not,
up.
child.
You just took the low-hanging fucking fruit. It's a low-hanging fruit at this point. Why you throwing that at me? I'm sorry. I know I'm not well. I'm sorry if I'm making people prickle. And I'm sorry to all the lovely white women that I love so much in my life as well.
Who deserve love.
Who
just
deserve
not Jonathan Majors.
Just Jonathan Majors.
Who could they have taken? Take somebody else. Who is it? I'll give you somebody. Shamar Moore. You can have him. We don't want
Michael B. Jordan. He next anyway. He coming to you anyway.
Baby, y'all can have him any day.
Take him.
You already got him.
He ready. I would even, actually, no, I don't want him to go there. Let me tell you something. You know who I think is not going to go for a white woman? Is Daniel Kaluuya.
No, he won't.
He won't.
He might.
No.
I pray. I like Daniel. Daniel was in a relationship. I don't know what happened. Now he's single.
But that brooding, introspective, complicated spirit of a man, I know a white woman just want to run after him.
And introspective because he secretly loves white women and he's fighting
conflicted.
it.
He's conflicted.
He's like, damn, I was in Get Out. Can I do it? I don't know if they'll forgive me.
Yeah, and
they forgave Donald Glover.
And then
that's what he's thinking.
Trying to get with this girl. Fuck.
He's looking at Donald Glover like, I want to live on a farm. I'm telling you, it's tricky.
She said, I want to live on a farm.
I'm dead serious. That white woman got him living on a farm, walking bare feet with their kids. I
want to go on a kayak.
Yup. Oh, the kayak.
I want to go jump in the lake on a kayak.
Yep. I want to experience this shit. And he's a different black. He's British.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
but I don't think
I'm rooting for Daniel. I'd like to see him. His lady that he had was a nice brown, cute little girl. Oh, she was cute. Little natural hair. Just cutie. Just looking like a smart, I don't know. She just looked like one of those women that walk into the room and you just kind of get quiet because she's smarter than you.
Yeah.
And you can feel it on her.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
But like unassuming.
Yeah.
Still nice, but you just like, damn, you probably read so many books. One of those.
See,
I don't know what happened.
Jonathan hates natural hair. Mm-hmm. I can see. I feel it from him right now.
I don't think that's true.
Natural hair. He's probably like,
all right, we gotta move on. This is crazy.
I feel he's probably like, yeah. He probably just loves enjoying that silky hair, and it's just like yucky.
Jonathan, I have an unpopular opinion. Jonathan, them girls probably tore him up and told him he was not cute. I see all kinds of articles talking about how he's not. What is it? The typical handsome, some shit, the archetype, whatever, but he's so sexy. And that's white people basically saying you look like a fucking bull who will fuck me.
Not a bull.
Like it's a
stud.
What is it? A stud or whatever it is. The
called?
BBC.
Mm-hmm.
Buck. It's like some sort of a buck.
Oh God, that's just
you look
nasty.
like a buck. Yes, it infuriates me. But if you look at these articles online, you'll see that, and that tone is it's within all of the art. No, it's within all of the articles, is what I'm saying. But I also think Jonathan Majors is the type of kind of quirky black man that I feel like probably got a lot of shit from the average black girl. Where he's from? He's from New York.
No, he's from the South.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
He probably got a lot of shit from the average black girl. It's like, what is wrong with you? It's weird. And the white girl's probably like, you're cool. You're black.
Now they are.
What you
left drama theory? Wow, you're studying. Who's the Russian nigga Russian drama theory? Anyway.
I fucking love you, Stanislavski.
Yeah.
I think
a black girl, but Stanislavski.
Just like me. And I have a theater degree. I'm embarrassed.
Just shut up. Oh, gosh.
Anyway, that was an aside.
That made me upset. I'm angry.
I'm sorry. Oh, I see you.
I ignored that.
I could tell. I know you really did. And I thought, oh, it's late. She probably didn't read it. But I guess you did read it and decided to ignore it. I'm sorry. You look like you've been cheated on. You got to relax. If you guys could see Shanti.
I'm hot as hell. I need to bring a fan in here. I have a hand fan. That's what I need to do.
Well, Renaissance. Renaissance is here. Take us through Renaissance, Shani.
Beyonce, if you my godmom, has dropped. Now, this is the thing that's even more exciting for me that I've been seeing the part 1, but apparently this is part 1 of a 3-act project, nigga. What? So apparently the album was leaked a day or two before the actual release date, and all the hype were super protective and like, yo, I will fucking kill you if you leak this, yada, yada, yada. She then posted a thank you letter to all.
No, they did. They reacted on Twitter and was like, we gonna wait to listen to this album the way we supposed to listen to it. We not doing this.
Yeah, she said she shared her gratitude for that, and then she released the 16-track house trap album of the year, of the season, Renaissance. I didn't listen to it initially, but these past 2 days I've been really getting into it, and I've learned so much. I've learned so much from this album. She was very intentional about her sampling and the production of the tracks. The references are just layered upon layer upon layer. She's included so many big, huge trans and ballroom icons. She has samplings from Big Frida, from Kevin Aviance, Grace Jones, Honey Dijon produced on it. Sid produced on it, which was one of my favorite songs. T.S. Madison, Mike Q, just like people that are beloved and well known and iconic within the ballroom culture. And Beyonce stepped into that shit and did I think, an amazing.
Loud.
Excuse me?
It was allowed in there because not everybody is.
Not everybody is allowed in there, but you know, the gays love Beyonce. When Single Ladies came out, child, that was the best thing for her career. I'm telling you. Yep.
Poor Drake.
Poor Drake. To listen to those two albums together. Apparently, he even helped on this album, though. So
did he?
He has some credits on there. I feel like it was intentional. The mood of the album is fun. It's refreshing. Again, it's like this house trap blend. The transitions of the songs are like butter. They melt in your mouth. I think this is one of the best albums that she has made.
Oh.
And it felt very mature. It felt, again, very thoughtful. I think she made this really good point. I think, say what you want about Beyonce, but it feels like in her most recent albums, she's always trying to get, and again, this is not my thought at all, because I just want to make that clear. But he was saying about with every album, it seems like she's trying to get to the heart of Black culture in a way, or Blackness. She's trying to get to, wants to share the raw heartbeat of Black culture in a way, you know, like even when it was just around African spirituality, the way that she tapped into that in a way, the way that she tapped into homecoming and the college, you know, drumline culture. Like she's exalting and sharing and showing us a reflection of ourselves that it just feels good. It feels good to me. It feels good to me. I really liked it and I was excited by it, and I want to keep going back to listen to it. And I'm proud of her. I really am.
I like the album quite a bit. I have to keep listening to it. Obviously, I was with my dad this weekend, so I listened to it when it dropped and stayed up late and just kind of like went through it. I listened to it more today. What I will say is it's definitely a feel good. Her backgrounds are like, I think that's what I'm most impressed with, like how she sneaks in these like vocal gymnastics, and it's just like, wow, what the like how are you doing that? I will say the one thing about Beyonce is, baby, her lyrics, I be like, what? Sometimes I'm like, what are you talking about? Or what? Just what? I was a little like, I listened to, and there's certain songs that people like love. Like people love Church Girl, and I don't.
You don't?
And I don't. I don't.
That's interesting.
And you know what it is? Sometimes I need a visual to love it. If I get a fire visual or a visual that kind of brings it all together for me, then I'll be like, oh, okay. But Church Girl isn't the song that I gravitate towards. I'll say which ones. I love Cozy.
Mm-hmm.
I love Cozy so much. I think the beat is fire. I love what she's saying. I'm like, ooh, Cozy. And I also love the Virgo. What is it? The Virgos.
Groove. Oh, I love that.
The Virgos groove is fire. What's the other ones? There was another, hold on. I'm going there now. What's Thick is fine. Like thick, when the beat drops, I'm like, woo, you going in, girlfriend. I love Energy, Plastic Off the Sofa. I do like Move. And Summer Renaissance, the last song, I really like too. But like America Has a Problem. I looked up those lyrics and I was trying to make sense of them for like the title, but I just like the through line I wasn't quite getting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think it was a reference to again a ballroom song, or like a not maybe not a ballroom, but like a famous house
A person
song. America has
Okay.
a problem is about cocaine, so it's a reference. A lot of stuff that we don't understand is a reference to the original song. That
got it. So that's the other thing is that I think I need more context because I'm ignorant and I don't know, and so I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, oh, we about to get, I'm thinking about it in terms of right now. What would you say that America's problem is? And I wouldn't think it was that. So I understand. But Beyonce is Beyonce, and I'm really happy for her. 16 tracks is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where the hell she goes off and hides out and gets this music done. I also think that she's just done so much music that she's just sitting on all these unreleased tracks as well. But it's really good. There are some skips for me.
Definitely, there are some skips for me. Yet. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, there's some.
Oh no, yeah.
So I see a lot of people say like this is her best thing. I think it's probably one of her. I mean, she takes risks with every project she does.
You think so? Oh, I would never say that.
I think the first, like if we go from project to project, I think the first album she put out, they told her she didn't have one hit. Her label told her this is a joke. And it was just a risk putting it out. Even when I think Beyonce might be my favorite album of hers, the one with Partition, Drunk in Love, the surprise album when she just dropped it.
I love that
we were like, what the fuck just happened? She had basically rewritten how people drop music. It was just like, oh, I don't need to promote anything. Boop, you're welcome. I think Lemonade, obviously, a conceptual album, the visual album. That was, I don't know. I think that she takes risks. She does. Even the I Am Sasha Fierce didn't love that as much, but like it was a risk of like that alter ego kind of vibe.
But
and then this one was just sonically.
You could feel. I feel like this was the most cohesive album. Like it felt the same throughout.
Because it's all house.
But it felt. But the songs were different. Like I love Plastic on the Sofa.
I
love that song so much. It's such a beautiful love song. It's such a like tender, open, personal, and it's a fucking groove. And I'm so happy that Sid. I know I talk shit about Sid. I'm so sorry, Sid. I don't like your personal projects as much, but when you be doing your thing with other people and for other people, you do your thing. But
I didn't realize that Sid did that.
Yeah, Sid, with some other producers. It just wasn't Sid by herself. But yeah, and I love that there weren't the visuals there. And I'm so excited for what the other parts of this project is going to be. But I love that we weren't distracted or overwhelmed with all this other media.
We had to sit with the music.
You sit with the music, and I feel like the music, unlike Lemonade, was strong enough to like be by itself in a I like it. I mean, this is her 7th album. Like anybody,
and that's her solo, right? That's not even Destiny's Child, right?
That is. Say what you want, but people are saying things. I'm sorry. We'll go into the controversy. We have more to get on it.
I would say the idea of this album being this dance heavy, all I'm thinking about is the tour that follows this, and thinking about Beyonce's 40, right? How old is Beyonce?
Yeah, she's probably older than 40. She's probably lying to us about her age in some ways, like if she were
most likely. But to think about that, this woman is about to go on a tour, I'm sure, and tear that shit up. Yeah, she's 40 years old. You just worked out for 15 minutes and gave up. We are not 40. And she's about to be singing and carrying on to how. And my thing is, I really hope that she gets these ballroom people involved. Like Beyonce on a stage with people up there voguing. What is that woman's name? I love her. What is Superwoman? That one?
Oh, she is bad as fuck.
Oh, don't let me see her in the video. I'll pass out. I will pass out. Like, these are the visuals that I need. I need it.
We need it. And I think the impact that it's going to make, the impact that it's going to make is amazing. Damn, what was I going to say? Oh, it slipped my mouth. Damn, I had something to say, but I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, Khalees has something to say. Oh, Kels. Khalees is upset because Khalees was not contacted. So Khalees, Get Along With You is sampled in Energy. And those masters belong not to her. So Khalees is upset because she was made aware, I guess, from the social media post what was being sampled. And she wasn't contacted as like a courtesy. She felt like she should be contacted. She's not only upset with Beyonce, she ran Pharrell through she raked him through the coals, basically. It was like, happy my ass, fuck you. You're happy because you're stealing people's masters and you are swallowing souls at night. That's how you stay so young. But I don't know. Khalees is upset. I understand what Khalees is saying. I do. But that's not Beyonce's job, and she doesn't have to do that. And I don't know if it's about, I know she was talking about women's empowerment and all that, and it's like, Khalees, you signed a bad deal, right? And Beyonce's people are going to pay who they have to pay. Like, I don't know. And I'm sure, had she reached out to Beyonce privately in some capacity, or her people, that they probably would have made it right. I don't know. That's my thinking. I think that she's been nothing but nice to the artist, to Jasmine, to our friend. She was the one that put the bug in their ear to get her for the national anthem. She's the one that's encouraged Jasmine to get back into music, center flower, like all kinds of just nice gestures of like encouragement. And so I don't buy into this narrative that Beyonce will clobber anybody that's in her way. I just really don't. And I know I'm a part of the Beehive, so I'll say that. But I don't know. I do understand what Khalees is saying, though. I can understand absolutely the frustration of being an artist and having my work used, and I have no say in it. I don't even know. And I want to caveat that most often when people are involved in Beyonce's projects, and she always makes sure that, she announces who it is and she highlights folks, that she's really tried to lend her platform over to other artists and other creatives and big them up. And I think that for the most part, I'm sure her and her team feel like, oh, it's a good thing for anybody to be associated with my shit. And so me putting this list out is me repping you, is me being like, you're dope. You inspired me. And everybody's inspired by anybody. So I'm sick of hearing that she's inspired by people and stealing their shit. Every artist is doing that. Stop it. It's ridiculous. But I don't know. I see both sides of it. I don't think Beyonce did anything wrong or intentionally trying to even thinking about Khalees, if I'm being completely honest. And Khalees is also very much still grieving. And she's, I'm sure, very much still frustrated with the deal that she signed and the fact that she doesn't have what she needs. I think the fight's really with Pharrell, but, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce's a villain. She's not a villain. I think, again, I don't want Khalees to be quiet. I don't think she should hush up. I don't think she should be grateful that she's on this track. I don't think she should be grateful that, oh, your name is even being mentioned because of this. I think her frustration, and again, she said she was triggered because this shit keeps happening to her. And it's like these artists that are silenced because another artist has more power, for instance, Pharrell, and there's like this narrative around who this person is, but then there's this other trespasses that aren't being mentioned and there's no space for. You just like are salty. You've been given a bad deal. You just eat it up. I think Um, I don't know. I don't know if that feels fair. I don't know, but I also don't think that to name Beyonce the villain or to expect Beyonce, because she's huge. She's a corporation. She's not some young girl that's releasing a solo project. Like, her team is huge. And so there is some truth, though, that because she's so big, because she has a team that have their tentacles out everywhere, who are involved and they're keeping their ears to the street and their eyes out for hot shit that newer artists are doing, that she wants to reference, that she wants to take in, that she wants to, you know, quote unquote, make her own. That happens all the time. She's constantly being called out about it. And I don't know if that's a quote unquote bad thing. I understand how it feels co-opted. I understand how it feels. I can understand why people don't like that and don't feel like I'm lucky to be on your shit, because that's my shit. That came from my artistic process. You don't know what I've gone through as an artist to like come up with this thing. Like that's my blood, sweat, and tears. And to see it just repackaged in the brand Beyonce, I know that fucks people up and makes them angry. But I don't know that she's the villain. I don't think she's a villain saying,
I don't know if
let's go get that. Huh? Yeah. She's not a villain. I don't know if
she should have to show up small just because, you know, like.
You said she doesn't have to show up small?
I don't know if she shouldn't have to show up small just because she's going to do it and do it great and get credit. Like, people are going to fuck up. She can't help the fact that Beyonce could probably take a dump on a track and people are going to be like, oh my God, it was so good.
Well, I think she represents and intersects with so many hard things. She's rich. She's beautiful. She's light-skinned. She's a mega star and is deeply entrenched in the music industry and corporate business ventures.
But none of that is without hard work.
Nobody's saying it's not with hard work, but just because you worked hard doesn't mean that it's not problematic and doesn't exploit other people. Like, that's the thing we're talking about. This American dream of, you worked hard, therefore you exploiting other people is now normalized or right. That's not.
You feel like she's exploiting them?
No, I don't know if. That's the thing with Beyonce, is that you can't talk about her without her triggering all of these other things that in many ways she represents, but I don't know if she is the villain in it. She's like in it like, yeah, I'm a capitalist light-skinned woman who's out here to steal the culture and rep black capitalism. And I don't think that's but she can't help in her bigness, in her wealth, in her beauty, in her talent, in her eye, and her ability to be like, yo, that's dope. That's cool. I want to incorporate it into my work. Bring this person onto my team. I want to, I don't think
But she doesn't get credit. I don't think she gets enough credit for how many people who's get to share her platform with her. Like, that whole Black is King record is like
Beats by Ari.
How many artists did she highlight?
Beats by Ari. That's what, again, I think it's a dismissal of who she is and her fucking influence and her power. Like, you can say whatever you want about her, but she's not a villain wielding her power for evil. She's not, what's her name? A Trump child, Ivanka Trump or somebody. Like, she's not this evil villain. And people are stuck, and we get all in this weird place of like, they want to put her in the bed to make her have to be a villain, and she's not. But does she not intersect and represent some really hard and complex things about America? Absolutely. And that's so dope that she even has us having these conversations. Like, everybody's like, she just, whatever's the trend, she just co-ops. I feel like she's learning and exploring. I think it's a collective thing that she, again, is reflecting with us. When she was doing Lemonade
She
and the
also makes
Oshun and
friends.
Yemaya, all of us were learning about that shit in so many ways.
Right.
Like,
She helps
she
create
takes the
trends, so
people
let's
on the
not do
margins,
that.
and the black margins specifically, in the black niches, in the black spaces, and makes it and brings it in, and people are mad about it. But I'm like, that's a bad bitch. Like that, she's powerful as fuck. She's like, I didn't ask for this power. God, why did you make me the most powerful woman in the world?
Stop. With that Beyonce voice is
God,
so
why
annoying.
am I God? Why am I bigger than you, God? Why am I second coming of Christ, God? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. It's complex. She's not a villain though. I think people really want her to
Be a satanic villain. She just caught up in the matrix like everybody else with a lot of power, figuring her human shit out too, and is excited by dope shit and wants to share it the same way we all do. She's just super rich and light skinned.
And I'm really grateful that I get to live in a world where Beyonce exists and shares it. Because Lord knows, what would I be listening to? Ugh.
Apparently, someone, Channy Nichols, the astrology lady, posted that. She's like, Beyonce must know astrology because these next few weeks are supposed to be really turbulent. And they're like, oh, she's just here to sprinkle some light on us because we're about to go through hell.
I will say I had a friend sit here, child, and text me. She texted my phone on a group chat. I ain't going to say who it was. But she texted me and Asante on a group chat and said, and it was not Jay, so don't y'all start, and said that she felt that Beyonce was stealing from Chloe on this album. And I said, all right. Y'all just want to hate this lady. And that's ridiculous. Chloe, who? I really had to step back and was like, Kardashian? What the fuck? And then I had to realize that she was talking about the little
Not
girl.
the little girl. She grown.
Antoinette.
Don't you know she grown now?
She's
talking
grown.
about put my pen to the side. She a woman now, okay?
Yeah, right. Okay. I said, this is where we're going too far. This is where I'm like, she literally gave those girls their platform. Now, and there is a thing about never outshine the master, but Chloe is not outshining the master. Stop it, y'all. You can just have this dope being in front of you and be grateful. Be grateful for the work. And it could just be the work. It could just be Beyonce is existing as herself in the body that she's currently in. And
it makes us uncomfortable.
Giving us the art she wants to give us.
I think it makes us uncomfortable and with ourselves in a way that she's becoming more and more embodied in herself and like she feels. I don't know. I believe her when she talks about love. I do. I believe her. I don't think she's an unhappy villain. I don't. And that fucks us up because how can you have everything in the world and be happy-ish and not be on drugs? That fucks us up. It makes us uncomfortable. You want her to be...
That's a shame.
Fucked up a little bit.
Right. Why are we more comfortable with her being a villain than being the second coming of Christ?
God? What?
No, but shout out to Beyonce. I gotta sit with the album more. There are definitely songs that I'm like skip, but 16 songs, of course, there's gonna be a skip, and some of my skips are things that people absolutely love. Some of these lyrics are getting to be a little bit redundant to me personally about the, what a bad bitch you are. It's like, all right, girl, next.
Because that positive don't slap Antoinette. She can't be up.
I know.
You can't have too much self-love, positivity shit. That shit go boom. Yeah, tell me why you're cuter and richer.
I'm thinking like, what's going on in her life? Could she give us a record about motherhood like Cleo Soul? Probably not. I'm like, girl, what? We was trying to dance Beyonce, and I cannot dance to the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But I get it. I like the fact I will say that Birkin I just saw that, Birkin bags, Birkins, their stock went down because of that line she says, where she said
shareholders pulling out because of
Telfar,
Beyonce.
her Telfar bags are something like they're imported, and the Birkins are in storage. They said that the stock went down a bit as a result, and that Birkin is afraid of what's going to happen because the new girls. That's the thing. If you get a Birkin bag, then you're a bad bitch.
Those bags are ugly.
Ugly. And let me tell you what, my Birkin stocks are better than the Birkin bags. You better come true. Anyway, do we want to go into politics as usual? I don't have nothing to say besides Joe Biden tested positive again for COVID. I said, oh my God, Joe. I was rejoicing. You made it. You, within a dog, y'all hit out. You came back. He was all up in the Oval Office. So what kind of White House test did you get?
He bought that $25 one we all taken from the Rite Aid.
Girl, he took two tests and said that he tested negative. So that makes me think that it was under control for a little bit. And then Joey's little old body.
I don't know if that works like that.
The way I went to that Chris Rock show and he said he dusted himself up off the monument to come run the country. But Joey, we got to pray for Joe. I know Kamala somewhere like, go ahead. Just go ahead and croak. That's a shame. Because I don't think they really like each other anymore. It's not given the energy that it once was. They don't really do joint appearances. I don't know what's going on.
Joe.
But we need to pray for Joe. Because Joe's a good man. He's showed.
Girl, you ain't got to go into talk about what. Making a case.
I was talking about my dad about this. I feel the way about Joe.
Oh, boy. No, all right, go ahead.
Don't say that because that is the Republic. That's a Trump talking point.
Girl, that is not a lie. Joe
is old and Joe didn't need to come save us, and he did. He saved us from Trump. Now I don't know what he's doing right now, but and it's tricky. But all I have to say is that Joe, my dad said some stuff about Joe, and I said, you know what? But Joe has really changed over the years. That's somebody, that's an older white man who does have, I think, more progressive thoughts. Not as much as Bernie. We know this. But then he was much more conservative back in the day. He was an asshole back in the day. I mean, he was. And I think that a lot of things happened in his life, and he shifted gears and softened and humanized folks and listened. And so I'm proud of Joe. If something happens to Joe, I think Joe's going to go to heaven and God will say, well done. Okay. I do. You tried. With the tools you had, good job. That's how I feel. Unpopular opinion. I don't hate Joe. I think
the Antoinette. Who else is it? Is Jay-Z, Joe Biden, Antoinette is going to go to bat for?
No, I'm not for that struggle. I want people to back up off of Joe Biden and also recognize his arc. All right, because Joe
bring some compassion and humanity to that.
Cutting up at that Anita Hill trial, but look at us now. But prayers up to him.
Prayers up to everyone as the monkeypox disease is spreading. New York just declared emergency. Philadelphia has over 100 cases at this point. We're being very careful, having had the history with AIDS, in which, when AIDS first came out, it was just known as the gay plague and was not taken seriously by anyone. But similarly, folks are really trying to manage it with care and not ostracize, nor stigmatize, nor just make it, again, something that happens within the communities of men who have sex with men, being as though it's very close to chickenpox and like anybody can catch that smoke. A spittle, get in your mouth, child. You got the monkeypox. Yeah. I, for one.
But they're not giving the vaccine to anybody but gay men.
Well, because it's the community that is, it's the most prevalent in. So to get it in control, to try to stop the spread. But apparently there's a lot of It's just rubbing folks the wrong way when they do come into the hospital. If there is a scare, there's very aggressive assumptions, right? Aggressive questioning, and then just like an assumption. If you're a man, it's like, oh, you've been sleeping with other men. How many dicks you suck? What? Why? What?
Well, they have to ask the question.
Apparently it is rubbing the community the wrong way. It does not feel compassionate. It does not feel like there are other possibilities, which there are, in contracting this disease. There's just the assumption that, oh, you're a gay man, you must have been fucking. Like, no, it could be had spread through money. It's like, and it also makes people that aren't in that community assume that they are not at high risks as well.
Wait, you said it could be spread through what now?
Money, touching objects, clothing, bedding, towels. It can be spread.
Did they say money? I saw clothing.
I saw a case of a woman online who got it, and they were like, "Oh, did you have it through sex?" And she was like, "No, I was a cashier, and I was doing money shit, and that's how." She thinks she got it. Who knows? Was she being honest? I don't know. Stuff that passes through sex gets real tricky. Close contact, it gets tricky. It's tricky. But, and it also just, similar to chickenpox, it takes its time. It takes almost 3 years, 3 years, child. 3 weeks. Since of exposure for the symptoms to possibly show up. And then it's 4 to 6 weeks for the whole cycle to go through of getting the pustules and having them heal. And you are contagious through all of that until the pustules have healed and new skin has formed. So it's basically chickenpox, a form of chickenpox, and God help us. That is just.
But it's not a form
it's in the same.
Monkeypox is much more deadly. No,
it's not deadly.
Yes,
I mean, I think people have died of chickenpox in the same way that people may have died of monkeypox, but it's not like COVID where you die. It's not deadly. But given, people's health situation, given their health history and the strength of some people that don't have a strong immune system can die from a cold. So to say it's not deadly may be a little bit of a,
Well, no, it says it's not lethal.
But it's just, it's unsightly. It could also,
it's very
painful. It could, again, the
fever, body aches, fatigue. Yeah.
The overwhelming the healthcare system, losing work. Kids are, for younger children, if they get it, similar to chickenpox, that's when it gets really, really scary and is actually deadly. So, that's something for parents to consider as well as kids start the school year. How are schools planning on getting ahead of this? So, shout out to everybody.
How do you plan on
masks? And I have to get back to definitely slacked on masks for me, quite honestly. So I have to get back to wearing masks in public places, as well as your best bet is hand sanitizer. Like just having that joint attached to your purse again.
I'm not touching people. I love people, but I'm
letting people touch you. Yeah, it's just what a hit we're taking as humans. Touch, connection.
Yeah.
God, it's so important. And then you raise kids with this kind of alarm in them already. It's they're just so out of practice of it. It's not fun. I do not like this at all. But yeah.
Jesus.
That's
there's more things happening in politics, but I haven't been able to really go into it. We do have voicemails, and I do want to play them. And I am happy to say that because we're doing this emergency episode, we will now be on the schedule that people wanted, which is Kiki on Monday, and then the meat and potatoes. What did we say that was? Did we say it was meat and potatoes?
You're going to find
the meat and potatoes
someday. Give us some grace.
Yeah, I don't like meat and potatoes, but the main, heart of the matter kind of conversation on Thursdays. But the voicemail, we have two. We play the first one or whatever. And has to do with the old episode.
Hi, ladies. My name is Adriana. I apologize for my voice. I am so hoarse. But I just finished listening to the last episode, and I actually just finished also listening to Conscious Loving on Audible. And, man, when I tell you that book broke me, Shanti, you always come through with the best book recommendations. I am married, and I was listening to this book with my husband on our way back to Atlanta from Florida, and it just broke me. It made me feel like, I'm not going to get into all of that because I don't want to be those people that get cut off, but my marriage might be an entanglement. It might be a super duper codependent to the 10th power type shit. Like, it stressed me. But, not to say that the book stressed me, but that awareness is difficult. Because now I have to do something about it, right? And I have to do something about it because I know it. He listens to the book as well, but he ain't going to start doing the work. So I have to do it alone, and hopefully he'll follow or, let the chips fall as they may. But thank you for the book recommendation. I love y'all. I said I wasn't going to be those people that said that, but it's true. And I listen to everything. So thank you. And y'all take care. Keep it coming. Y'all are doing amazing, for real.
That book, Conscious Loving, it's like the red pill or the blue pill? When you take that blue pill, whatever, I don't know which one it was, but once you know the things, you can't unknow them. But more power to you in you unraveling and seeing yourself and learning to be more compassionate with yourself and breaking those patterns. And once you're committed to breaking those patterns, he has no choice but to look at himself and make his decisions, which is really hard and really scary. So, yeah, honey, onwards and upwards. And I'm excited for you in a lot of ways. It's really hard and really scary work to see yourself and try to be conscious about it in front of somebody else. The fuck? Together.
I think I'm hopeful since he listened to the book that maybe it sparked something in him. I heard what she said, that he's not going to do the work, but who knows? Who knows what could be sparked in him as he watches you.
Or how you
expand.
How you stop doing the things with him. How you right. We ain't doing that.
Stop the patterns.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I believe her. Let me go back. I want to call her the right name. Adriana. That's pretty. All right. We have one more voicemail. I got to read that book. Can you buy me that book? Is it expensive?
No.
Huh?
I mean, we got to read that book together. It's all relationships, not just your...
I know. That's why I got to read it. Oh, you know what? I actually don't know if I have the right voicemail up. Hold on, because... Can you write this time down? Oh, no. This is it. All right. Ready?
Hi, Shanti and Antoinette. I am one of your listeners. I was listening to episode 186 when you're catching up, and I'm 62, and so my kids are about your age, son and daughter, and it's just funny because I am not that mother that is stuck in her ways. I like to party. I have always. I like house music. My son and I get off to that. And I listen to a lot of podcasts, yours, and also see the thing is, and I love you on that, Antoinette. Yeah, I love your conversation and some of your points that I do agree with. But when it comes to growing and you're in your 30s, give it time. You're gonna have some work. It's going to be hard, but you're going to have fun. You're looking for a man, stop looking. He's going to come to you. He will come to you. My husband is 16 years younger than I am, and this is my third husband. So you've got time. Don't worry about it. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm listening, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
Okay, I'm obsessed. First of all, that don't sound like the voice of those 62-year-olds. She lying. I said, girl, stop. She said she's 62 and her kids are our age. Child. Wow. She said her husband is 16
I know
years
that's mother
younger than her, and it's her third one. Wow. All right. I think we still, you know what? Thank you so much for calling. I do think
we should have a group, a different.
chill out.
Oh, my bad.
But I also think we need to have an elder.
We should to just call in. I think we should all have. We should have some questions that we ask, and I'll have a snippet from Katia, or you get Bad Barbs on there.
I want Katia on here for an episode, Shanti. I do.
Like Beyonce.
Katia might be living. No, but we wouldn't talk to her about Beyonce. We just gotta ask her a bunch of questions about how to do life.
Katia would be really good. Yes. I think a sampling of all different perspectives, though, all different experiences, all different ages too. Katia's a little bit older than that person who just called, so.
Okay.
But thanks for calling and talking into to the spirit of the youth
and offering your services. Let me save a number. Be like, hi, I got this text. Can you tell me what it means? He's like, girl, get off my phone. But no. In all seriousness, I do think there's something about us chilling out a little bit and not having to have everything figured out. I think we may take ourselves a little. I don't think we take ourselves too seriously, but I just think that we're, we can
think too much.
We can, we're in our heads a bit. I think, and I posted that thing on IG today that was like. You either talking to your best friend is either therapy or you need therapy after talking to your best friend. And that's how I feel. Every time I record, I'm like, oh, that feels good. Or, oh my God, I'm having a nervous breakdown. I don't know. But I think with that said, I'm really looking forward to this Thursday's episode coming out where we really deep dive. And we really I thought that was really helpful for me in talking to you. And understanding you more, and I think that we both uncovered a lot in that episode, and it was full of discovery. And so we were talking about everyone dimming our light, and Shanti and I both seem to not dim our light for other people, but to dim it as a result of our fear of ourselves. And so it was very interesting as the whys that came up. They were different for both of us, but very, very good episode. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, we're now on schedule.
Beyonce, that's a powerful God. What do you need me to do?
Beyonce didn't got us on schedule. Wow, you're right.
I know there are people
Points
that
to
need
ponder.
Help. I need to help them.
Yeah. So points to ponder, that was what we were saying that the Thursdays would be. Points to ponder, more questions than answers.
More questions than answers.
More questions than answers. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right. I think with that, we got a healthy episode here. We're going to go. I'm going to edit, get this out for tomorrow, and we'll see you all on Thursday. So with that,